Clonmel Junction Arts Festival.
Good evening and welcome to Clonmel. My name is Clíona Marr and I'm the Artistic Director of Clonmel Junction Arts Festival. This 20th edition of the festival may be our most unusual yet. Like people the world over, our plans came crashing down in March, but the arts community is a resilient one and we're adapting to bring you a wide selection of digital events that will entertain and delight, showcasing both local and international artists and bringing us together in a time of need. I have a lot of people to thank tonight, and I'd like to start by thanking the Arts Council of Ireland for their loyalty to the arts community as we survive, adapt and plan for the future. And to Tipperary County Council, bravo for your commitment to the festival. Your support in the early days of this crisis meant we could begin to dream a little.
I'm delighted to be here in Big Delahunty Square for this virtual launch of Clonmel Junction Arts Festival 2020 as Cathaoirleach of Tipperary County Council. Clonmel Junction Arts Festival clearly growing from strength to strength, now amazingly in its 20th year. I want to particularly pay tribute to the board of Clonmel Junction Arts Festival led by Dave Kirwan, our extraordinary artistic director Clíona Marr for making this year's festival possible in really challenging circumstances, a new digital format that I'm really looking forward to. As Cathaoirleach, in my role as a public representative over the last 11 years, as a former board member, what always impresses me about the festival is the platform that it gives to young emerging local talent, and notwithstanding the national and international content as well.
This year's festival is not just digital. We'll also have a vibrant physical presence in the town with a series of art installations. The Boatman of the Shore theme was inspired by an encounter 3 years ago with Jane Clare, the granddaughter of C.J. Boland. A writer described in his obituary as the poet laureate of Clonmel, he featured heavily in my Clonmel scrapbook and evokes Clonmel's past as a river town, bringing to life with great wit and warmth the people who worked on the shore. Our Boatman theme celebrates these people. 7 artists are celebrating the shore and its people with a series of temporary installations around the town and along the river. The Boatman of Clonmel Art Trail has participating artists Karen Power with Past Present Shore Song, Michael Duran with Continuum, Morris Caplice and Shay Hurley with Floating Shandy's Boat, Ciara Connolly with Project 53, Anna Kelly with Meadow of Honey, and Critty Cattry with The Lifeline of the Boatmen. Inspired by the nature of the river and the collection of our partner organisation, the newly refurbished Tipperary Museum of Hidden History.
How you doing? My name is Marie McMahon. I'm the curator of Tipperary Museum of Hidden History, and we're here today in the beautiful redevelopment of our gallery space, and behind me you'll see some beautiful images of our River Shore installation. Tipperary Museum of Hidden History is delighted to partner again with the Clonmel Junction Festival in 2020. Back in January we launched an open call to artists to come into the museum and to discuss elements of the River Shore and to look at the museum's eclectic mix of artefacts that we have in our collection. We've 25,000 items in our collection, which is a vast quantity, and it was a wonderful opportunity for artists and those interested in the River Shore to come into the museum and view all the material. Since January, and due to COVID restrictions, Clíona has been very cleverly able to adapt, along with the artists, the different projects that will now go out during July 2020. I'd like to congratulate Clíona and the team of Junction Festival for another wonderful festival in 2020.
We blithely chose the theme of 2020 vision before that idea of vision changed completely. But still, we have our Visionaries Symposium, which asks, where does creative vision come from? What inspires our most innovative artists? How do they go about putting that vision into practice on a daily basis? Legendary composer Roger Doyle, enigmatic visual artist Ailbhe Ivrian, and the inspirational Adrian Jackson of Cardboard Citizens come together to talk about their work, their process and their vision, hosted by RTE Arena presenter Sean Rocks. It's a unique opportunity to gain an insight into the creative mind of some truly visionary artists. We're delighted to welcome Paris to our doorstep. 2 years ago, Anne Cleary and Dennis Connolly of the School of Looking delighted us with their meta-perceptual helmets and installations at the Art Centre. This year, they examine the vision revolution, bringing science and art together in an inspiring and intriguing way. We'd like to sincerely thank Boston Scientific, who are launching their own vision for Clonmel this year, for their continued support. Over to Dennis and Anne.
Hi, I'm Anne. This is Dennis. We're the School of Looking, and for the Clonmel Junction Festival 2020, we're going to talk about light, but not just visible light, the light that surrounds us and that we're aware of every day. We're going to talk about all the light in the universe.
And the universe is full of light, and for most of human history, most of that light was not visible to us. It was invisible light, and our lectures, our 7 talks are going to be about the revolution that made all of those forms of light visible to us, that made X-rays and gamma rays and ultraviolet and infrared and microwaves and radio waves visible to us and useful to us.
Over 400 years, scientists researched and investigated and invented technology and devices to try and reveal all of these types of light. Many of them died, many of them faded into obscurity, but over 400 years they constructed this edifice of research which is quite phenomenal, and that has revealed the entire universe to us.
And we're not just going to look at this as a scientific revolution, because it is a scientific revolution, but it's a whole cultural revolution. We want to argue, because we're not scientists, we're artists really, that if we're able to see now the light that comes from the beginning of the universe, for example, the cosmic microwave background, then that has a cultural significance as well as a scientific significance.
And these things have social significance and ethical significance. There's so many different ways now that we can see light and interpret light, and it can be used for good, for medicine, for health, for conservation, and it's also used often for bad things, for surveillance, for warfare. So these ethical and social questions we're going to evoke during the series of lectures, as well as the aesthetic and scientific aspects of invisible light.
Hope you could join us.
We've had time to create work specially for this digital festival. I, Oedipus is an aria from new electronic opera I Girl by visionary composer Roger Doyle, with a libretto by acclaimed playwright Marina Carr. We've commissioned cinematographer and visual artist Trish McAdam to create an original art music video for the aria sung by countertenor Morgan Crowley. In our Eyes on the Town event, Orla Hegarty facilitates an online discussion about the future of towns, a fundamental question for this country, as for so many others in Europe and elsewhere. With architects Orla Murphy, Lachlan Keeley, Sharon O'Brien, Maria Fitzpatrick, amongst others, we're joined by Annunziata Maria Otteri from Milan. The conversation happens to close Eyes on the Town Creating a Vision, a collaborative project between architecture students at Waterford Institute of Technology and transition year students from the Presentation Secondary School here in Clonmel. Thanks to Lachlan Keeley, chairperson of the board of South Tipperary Arts Centre, for persevering with the project despite all the challenges. One of the highlights of Clonmel Junction Arts Festival was Liam Clancy's 2006 concert with Odetta, and on the 10th anniversary of his passing, Liam's son and collaborator Donal Clancy will perform his father's music in a special solo performance by this gifted singer and guitarist in The Parting Glass.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to this year's Clonmel Junction Arts Festival 2020. My name is David Kerwin, I'm the chairperson of this year's festival. As with every walk of life at the moment, the COVID pandemic has affected everything in Ireland, and the arts is no different. The Clonmel Junction Arts Festival, we usually start planning it about a year and a half in advance. So last September, when we sat down to plan the festival, little did we know that our plans would be thrown into such disarray and that the festival would perhaps even be cancelled. Finally, I would like to offer a huge thanks on behalf of the board to our Artistic Director, Clíona Mar, and all our team who've put in a sterling effort into making this year's festival happen. Also the board, who are all volunteers and give up their time throughout the year to contribute to the festival. And to you, thank you for your support. Without you, the festival again would not happen, and it is, for every artist, it is the support they require. So thank you. I hope you enjoy the festival.
Overlook, a military story, was a flagship devised production planned for Kickham Barracks in Clonmel. Here, director and Clonmel native Jack Reardon introduces 3 short scenes from Overlook with cast members Megan MacDonnell, Aina Grogan and Fionn Larney, and he talks about the creative process and the design ideas behind the project. For families, we've a range of events that engage with art, nature and our beautiful river shore. From a daily bug safari in Dennisburg Park to a nature detective video where you can download material to become a detective yourself, we're celebrating the crossover between art and citizen science. We'd like to thank the Local Authority Waters Programme, whose national headquarters are here in Clonmel, for supporting these projects. The first of our 2 Creative Ireland projects, Be Creative Clonmel, sees artists Kevin Power and Niamh Curry of Colour Hive create a series of video tutorials for local primary and secondary schools. From abstract art and portrait drawing to video and photography tips for your phone, kids have been invited to express their creativity and learn about different ways of making art. The deadline is tomorrow, June 12th, for kids to submit their work for our gallery around Clonmel Town Centre. We've already had some fantastic submissions and we're looking forward to seeing what we have for you during the festival. Clonmel Rocks runs in conjunction with Creative Ireland and Music Generation Tipperary. It's a project to get young Clonmel musicians together through music, with 2 months of virtual rehearsal culminating in a rocking video for each band for this year's festival. Under the expert tuition of Stephen McGrath and Jeff Barrett of Crow Black Chicken and Rebecca Kyo of Vocal Studio, 2 bands, now known as People of Rock and Broken Cogs, have worked together virtually before their debut this July.
Hi, we're the tutors for the Clonmel Rocks initiative, which is part of this year's Clonmel Junction Arts Festival, and the initiative is in association with Creative Ireland and Music Generation Tipperary.
We've been teaching the kids one-to-one online lessons for the last 4 weeks in preparation for the studio day.
So the plan is to do a socially distanced recording session with each band record 3 different tracks and a music video for each band.
The kids are aged between 8 and 15 and their instruments are keyboard and vocals,
Guitar and bass,
drums and percussion.
Check out Clonmel Rocks on the Festival channel.
We'll broadcast the rock videos at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, that's Sunday the 11th of July, for what we're calling MT Clonmel, in celebration of the late great Clonmel-born DJ Vincent Hanley. And not only are they tutoring, we're delighted that Crow Black Chicken will be one of 6 stellar local music acts in Clonmel Originals. It's celebrating the local live music scene in a town with standout talent. With talented singer-songwriters Rory de Leicester, Alan Atchison, Ross Boland and Aisling Walsh, soulful folk duo The Wood of O, the outtake sessions featuring members of popular local bands The Pearly Whites and Super Soul Machine, giving an original spin to some classic covers, the atmospheric Clonmel Laptop Ensemble, and a rollicking finale with one of Ireland's finest blues bands, Crow Black Chicken. This is a great introduction to the town's music scene.
But I rest here if you let me, and I listen to the wind for my sweet love.
We'll be putting a virtual tip jar in each concert with funds going directly to the musicians. We look forward to you joining us online or in the town for the first time or the 20th time, from Tipperary or a long way away. So what can you do to join us? Here's the brochure. Share it widely throughout your network. Like, comment, follow, tweet, sign up, join in. Help us to make this not just a festival of survival, but a celebration of the arts, of Clonmel and of togetherness.
Clonmel Junction Arts Festival.